The blood trail is drying up. He's been running for 6 hours straight. His brain just fired the same reward chemical yours does when you send that email. His payoff is minutes away. Yours might be months, and the smarter you are, the more your brain lies about it. To understand why your brain fights a deadline that's weeks away, you have to understand what it was built for. Not offices, not deadlines, hunts. For nearly all of human history, effort and reward lived seconds apart. That system is still running underneath your procrastination, older than agriculture, older than writing, older than the idea of later itself. This is persistence hunting. No spears, no bows, just legs, sweat glands, and patience. Early humans would chase an animal for hours, sometimes most of a day, until it overheated and collapsed. Anthropologist Louis Liebenberg spent decades documenting this among the Kalahari sand hunters, one of the last living windows into how our ancestors survived. This isn't theory, it's decades of fieldwork. And here's the trade-off baked into it. A hunt is brutal, but it's short. Hours, not months. The brain measures effort against a reward that's already visible on the horizon, an animal running in front of you. Every mile closes the gap. Every mile makes the payoff more certain, not less. That's not laziness versus ambition. That's a nervous system built to demand proof of progress. Swap the fur for sweat glands, millions of them, and you get one machine built for one kind of math. Effort in, reward out, on a timescale a body can actually feel. Your brain is running that exact equation right now in this video. The problem is what you're feeding it. Here is where it gets strange. You'd expect the smartest, most capable people to handle a delayed reward the best. They don't. Multiple studies on procrastination find that intelligence and conscientiousness aren't reliably protective. That's the paradox. The hunter's brain rewarded closing the gap between effort and payoff, but intellectual work often widens that gap the smarter you get. A sharp mind doesn't just do the work, it simulates the work. It runs the outcome in advance, imagines the finished report, the finished thesis, the finished business, and holds that imagined future up against the blank page in front of it. Psychologist Joseph Ferrari, a leading procrastination researcher, has spent his career reframing procrastination as an emotional regulation problem, not a scheduling one, not a character flaw, and not a time management failure. So being smart doesn't protect you here. If anything, it hands you a more convincing excuse. A trained mind is better at making avoidance sound reasonable. The more clearly you can picture a distant reward, the less your ancient reward system recognizes it as real progress at all. Here's the machinery underneath all of this. Dopamine, the chemical people call the reward chemical, isn't really about pleasure. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz's research on dopamine neurons found something more specific. They fire hardest on the prediction of a reward, not the reward itself, and they respond to how close and how certain that reward feels. Distance breaks that signal. This is temporal discounting, the brain's tendency to treat a delayed reward as worth far less than an immediate one, even when its actual value hasn't changed. A hunt 6 hours away registers as real. A promotion 6 months away barely registers at all. That email from the hook, same chemical, same discount. Now stack overthinking on top of that. When a sharp mind pictures a distant outcome in vivid detail, it doesn't make the reward feel closer. It makes the gap more visible. This is the lie your brain is telling you, not on purpose, just old software misreporting the world. Every hour spent picturing the finished product without producing it deepens the mismatch between effort and felt progress. The brain doesn't log, I am thinking productively. It logs, nothing is happening. And the ancient system that once demanded visible proof of progress simply stops supplying motivation. This is why procrastination so often isn't about the task being hard. It's about the reward sitting too far away for a 300,000-year-old signal to register as real. So here's the reframe. Procrastination was never a character flaw. It's not willpower, and it's not laziness. It's a timing mismatch, an ancient tracking system trying to clock a reward it was never built to see. Your brain isn't broken, and it isn't lying to you on purpose. It's just running outdated math and reporting the result as fact. You don't procrastinate because you don't care about the outcome. You procrastinate because you can't feel it yet, and the harder you picture how far away it is, the fainter the signal gets. Think about the last thing you put off, not because you didn't want it, but because it felt too far away to feel real. A degree, a savings goal, a message you never sent. Your brain wasn't broken in that moment. It was running math built for a chase that ends in hours, not a life that unfolds over years. The hunter never had to imagine the finish line. You do, every single day. So here's the question. What's one thing you've been putting off, not from laziness, but because the finish line hasn't felt close enough to chase yet?